Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Nigerians, let me introduce to you the man who single-handedly destroyed the ADC. One man. Many people think it is David Mark. He may have contributed, but it's certainly not David Mark. His name is this man, Babachir Lawal. How did he destroy the ADC? How? Look at it. He granted an interview on Arise, Arise Primetime. And in that Arise Primetime, he confirmed what Senator Abbo from Adamawa had said about a month back now. He confirmed it. I will play that video, play Senator Abbo's video, and then we'll come back and analyze it and see how exactly Babachir Lawal is the single reason that ADC is dead today. And please, that's not me saying it. That is how Senator Godswill Akpabio, the President of the Senate of Nigeria, that was how he described the ADC. And would you blame him? All the senators and the House of Rep members on the platform of the ADC, they have all defected out. All defected out. The only people that are left in the ADC now are those that are from the carcass. The people who are still living in delusion. They are the ones still in ADC. Everybody else that matters, that still has life, they have left. People like Peter Obi were the ones that left first. Remember, Ayofayoshe said it very clearly, that the only living thing is Peter Obi in the ADC. That Peter Obi is the life of the ADC. But apparently, those within the ADC who were scheming what they were scheming, working out, trying to outsmart everybody else, bend the wheel of the ADC to Atiku, so that Atiku will get ticket. They didn't see the truth in what Fayoshe said months back, that Peter Obi is the life of the ADC. Now, Peter Obi has left ADC. Life has left it. What is remaining is carcass. And those that form that carcass are showing their hand. One of them is the reason why ADC is dead today. And rather than look for a pastor or an imam that will pray for them and resurrect them, rather than for them to retrace their steps and find out where they hit their leg against the stone and fell and lost their lives, so that when they rise back to life, they will not make the same mistake again. Rather than do that, do a part of soul searching. The easiest thing for them to do is come out and attack Peter Obi. And it didn't even take them long. It didn't even reach 1 week. It didn't even reach 3 days, at least. It didn't even reach 2 days. Within 24 hours, they started attacking Peter Obi. First, it was Bolaji Abdullahi. Then, many of them started coming out. Now, it is the turn of Babachir Lawal. But that's not even the object of our conversation today. I want to show you how Babachir Lawal single-handedly destroyed the ADC. First of all, let's look at why. What is his motive? If you compare the interview of Babachir Lawal on Arise Primetime with Charles Anyagolu, he said something about, we bent over backwards to give Peter Obi the opportunity to bring the organizing secretary. Take note of that. That they bent over backwards for Peter Obi to bring the organizing secretary as an incentive to make Peter Obi feel at home. Cast your mind back to Senator Abbo. Senator Elijah Abbo. Remember when he was describing the situation involving Nafiu Bala and this same Babachir Lawal? Why did Nafiu Bala go to court? Senator Abbo explained it. One of the things that Senator Abbo said was this same thing of giving Peter Obi the position of the organizing secretary. In fact, if you go back to that video, you will see that Senator Abbo was saying, quote me anywhere, quote me anywhere. So it means that the things that Senator Abbo, Elijah Abbo, said in that interview were true. That truly Babachir Lawal was the cause of the problem in the ADC. David Mark has his own tool, but I want to believe that even the action of David Mark was influenced by by Babachir Lawal. In addition to the confirmation of what Senator Babachir, why am I calling him Senator? In addition to what Babachir Lawal said, Senator Abbo further said that the position of National Vice Chairman Northeast was agreed to be given as compensation to Nafiu Bala. You guys remember? But after the whole transaction has been executed, David Mark, Babachir Lawal went back on that agreement, and they decided rather that Babachir Lawal should be the National Vice Chairman Northeast for the now privatized ADC. He said they didn't trust any young person to come and take over. I talked about it then. Now here's the thing. All of the problems that led to the paralysis or imminent paralysis of ADC started from this singular action of Babachir Lawal deciding and getting or convincing David Mark not to obey a simple agreement. It started there. It was because of that agreement that Babachir Lawal broke, that David Mark broke, that Atiku broke. They all broke this agreement. And when Nafiu Bala protested, instead of consoling him or even saying, okay, let's give you something else, they just decided to shank him as though he didn't matter. That was what pained Bala. Many people don't know. That was what pained him. And Senator Abbo was telling us that time that it is a simple something. If Babachir Lawal, David Mark, Atiku, who were the owners of the ADC, they are the ones that privatized the ADC using Tinubu's terminologies. If they had called Nafiu Bala, this matter would have been resolved long ago. But in their arrogance, the same arrogance that you see in the interview of Babachir Lawal, they thought that they could hide behind internal affairs of political parties. They felt they could hide behind it and do whatever the hell they wanted. I said it then. Many of you didn't believe. But the truth is coming out. Now, when Nafiu Bala went to court to get an ex parte order restraining David Mark from parading himself as chairman, restraining INEC from recognizing David Mark as chairman of ADC, and then an order for him to be the one to be recognized as chairman of ADC. When Nafiu Bala instituted this suit, the court rightfully said, and I respect the judgment of the court on that issue. It's the order rather, not judgment. I respect that order because it showed that the judge understood the dynamics of the political terrain and did not want to give a one-sided judgment or order. Instead, he said, join INEC in the suit. That's why it became an interlocutory issue. Join INEC, join this person. Let all of them come and show proof that what you are alleging is true. Let them come and show that they did not forge your signature, that you did resign. That was all they did. Now, if not for arrogance of people like Babachir Lawal and David Mark, that issue, when they were served, instead of responding, they decided that no, the court does not have jurisdiction. That's a second opportunity for them to correct this issue. They didn't. They didn't bother to respond. The same INEC that they went on to blame, the same INEC they went on to blame, INEC responded to that interlocutory, to them being joined. INEC responded. In fact, INEC was defending ADC. But because, if they even did not appeal, if they just left the issue like that and only INEC response was used, I'm sure that the judge would have even still ruled in favor of ADC. But they did not respond the way INEC responded. Instead of leaving the matter like that, they went on appeal to Court of Appeal. And Court of Appeal now gave status quo ante bellum that they appealed to the Supreme Court that scattered everything. By the time it got to the Supreme Court, they were running out of time. Now, Supreme Court returned them back to the trial court. You would have expected that at that time, their arrogance, their ego would have been deflated, and they would have realized that, look, we cannot hide behind internal party affairs to be forging signatures, to be lying that people resigned when they did not resign. We need to be a viable political party to contest in the election. Let us shoot our sword. I advised them at that time. Call Nafi Bala to withdraw his case. Rally round the Justice Joyce Abdul Malik judgment, so that there will be a path forward. No, they didn't accept. Arrogance, ego, not let them. They allowed the matter to. It became clear that ADC was going to become a paralyzed political party. And Peter Obi saw it and left. With just 4 days to go, Peter Obi left. The thing come, they pepper them. They started showing their true color. With all that we have analyzed now, do you see that it's not necessarily Tinubu that caused the collapse of the coalition in ADC? It was Babachir Lawal. And the fact that you had a chairman in the caliber and the person of David Mark that did not call Babachir Lawal to order, and then you have the national leader in the person of Atiku that did not call Babachir to order. You see that all of them were in on it. And why were they in on it? Why were they bent on making sure that their people were the ones in charge of the party? They hijacked it for Atiku. They were saying, oh, bring organizing secretary. Peter Obi, bring. All those on are lies, scam. What they were going to do they were going to do the way David Mark did it for Atiku against Wike in 2023 in PDP. That was what they had hashed out. And Peter Obi saw it and left. And now the pepper on for body. Instead of you to take the moral high ground that Peter Obi took when he resigned without post on his X handle, he was still respectful, still very professional, but he reached on a turn. You that are supposed to be the elders, you started turning on Peter Obi. Nigerians can see you guys for who you are. You never wanted the interest of Nigeria. You had the interest of Atiku. But congratulations, Babachir Lawal. Congratulations for successfully destroying the ADC. Thank you for making sure that what Senator Akpabio said as Senate President is true. ADC is dead. You guys wanted to run primaries, Abi. You are complaining that Peter Obi wants to do primaries, Abi. Now that he has left, you guys should go and do the primaries now between Atiku and Rotimi Amechi. Go and do your primaries. And leave Peter Obi alone. People that should be rallying around a single candidate, you are the ones now showing. I don't know. I don't want to be insultive to an elderly person. So I'm just going to say, sir, please, make una day. Let Peter Obi day. When Peter Obi get ticket finish, maybe we can continue this conversation of coalition. But we will do it with clear eye, with open eye, with all caution. Yes. Congratulations, Babachir Lawal. Take your dead ADC. Look for a pastor. Maybe they can help you pray and revive it.